What was your experience with the first part of this, like just letting go, and you were making these decisions to let go of ordinary, worldly life? What motivated you? What was your story? How did you begin that journey?
Well, I think I'm not so good example in here because I never had so much attachment to the material things. My grandmother used to scold me constantly. She would tell me, "You and your father, you will give your last thing. You will not keep anything for yourself. You are stupid.
Mm.
You are a simpleton. You are." So she used to scold me. And one time I even asked her, I said, "Grandmother, what does it mean to be smart, intelligent, in your opinion?" She said, "Okay, come here, I tell you." I said, "Okay." Then I come. She said, "When you meet a person, you look from up to down and from down to up. Then you will be smart." And that was kind of a seed knowledge, like type of sutra that
Yeah.
later on I contemplated about. And I was thinking, yeah, actually it does make sense. So now when I come in touch with the person, I will scan the person. I will try to understand his everything, where he is, whether the person is family man or single man, what
Mm.
kind of job he does, and what are the hobbies of the person. So I study that to be able to speak the language of the person, to be able to be relatable with the person. But
Mm.
I never had any uh, value so much for the material things. I felt somehow.
Born monk, kind of.
I think so. I felt just other, and actually my whole family is like that. We didn't have much things in our house. But we have full house of books. There were
Mm.
like many, many, many shelves of books. It's like the entire room was just full of books. So I got somehow this impression from my family that material things don't matter so much. My family, they didn't. We were growing in Soviet Union, and at that time it was very prestigious, to have like a crystal kind of, the crystal glasses in the cupboards. So people used to collect them as a show of wealth,
Mm.
or like carpets that they put on the floor, or they put on the walls. So that was like symbols of wealth. And then different things, like people would crave for washing machine and things like that. But my parents, they used to prefer to spend money for traveling, like go travel, see the world, get impressions, meet new
Mm.
people. And they wouldn't buy much things in the house. They would rather prefer this kind of expenditure. So I
I,
think it's in my blood. There is no really materialism.
you definitely are living out that part of your parents' dream to travel the world. I
Uh,
think you just, how many countries have you been in the past month?
in the past months, I've been to, I think, Bulgaria, then India, then Sweden, then UK, then Germany, now back to Sweden.
Yeah, me too. UK, and then where did I go? Taiwan, Germany, and then India, US, and then Germany again. So now I'm back in Romania finally, and you're also back in Sweden at home after all of that. Yeah, we had very different upbringings. My dad would be seeing my interest in medical things and anatomy, and he'd be like, "Oh, you should be a cardiologist." No, 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 no. Wait, anesthesiologists, they make more money. So he was trying to like guide my career, and it just turned me off. Actually, it made actually the totally opposite effect. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Then I'm not going to do stuff just for money, and yeah, out of reaction, kind of went in another direction, which maybe similarly primed me for letting go. Um, but when you've taken on some big projects and some big targets, and I'm really interested actually to hear this story because I've only heard a little bits of it. How you went to this place called Ananda Shivani. Now, I guess there was nothing there when you first went, but you are looking to build a community. And what's the story of how you did that? Where did the resources come from? How did that happen?
Yeah, my senior Dada, he used to give pressure to me. He would say that, well, we need to have your work is good. You have created a very beautiful community, but you need a center. You need a physical center where
Mm-hmm.
people can be together and develop that culture, because it's difficult just from one meeting you meet at lecture or you meet at collective meditation. It's difficult to really create that culture, that the special blissful atmosphere. And for that you need your center where people can come and stay for some time, which they can experience spirituality, and they can experience different relationships, different ideals in life, where people
Mm-hmm.
they live not for like normal society, but they live for something higher, some higher purpose, higher goal. So to experience all that, they need a place. So he was telling me, and I also felt like that. And then I started to, at some point when I would meditate, I would feel really coming from me internally that stop everything you're doing and start building a center. And I was kind of getting depressed because of that, because I knew that the truthfulness of that calling inside of me, that I must do it. But I would encounter with my fear that how I'm going to do it. I don't have money. I don't have expertise also. I have not built any house in my life, and how I can do it? It seems so difficult. So yeah, but it kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. Then and then Didi also, Didi Ananda Sanjana, she used to pester me like anything. She would come and say, Dada, I need a place to do training. I say, yeah, 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 yeah. And said, when you're going to build for me? I say, okay, Didi, just wait. And then she kept pestering me. And then I said, okay, now let's go. So we sat in the car. I was just, I think, like for 4 days in that locality. So I had 4 days to find the land. So we went, first day we were searching, and land is very expensive and not very suitable for us, really not ideal at all. And then, yeah, and then finally we found land, and it was beautiful by the river, and 2 hectares of land or 3 hectares of land were there, quite a big spot, and quite reasonable price. At that time, I
Mm-hmm.
think it was something like something like 30,000, maybe 30 or maybe 50,000 euros, something like that. So when I saw it, I really loved it, and yeah, and then we struck a deal, and then we purchased it. And Didi helped me financially initially. She had some money saved, and then later on I had to just fundraise for that. It was millions of time I had to empty my all bank accounts, my everything, whatever I earn, I just keep. And people used to, keep coming and helping with that.
And how you say that you had to fundraise all of this money? How did you do that?
Just, yeah, I don't know. I don't actually remember.
It just started to flow.
Yeah.
Many people think I would like to do something, but I don't have the money to do it. You didn't have the money to do it, but that didn't stop you.
Well, I didn't have anything. I didn't have money. I didn't have any idea. You know how I build a house? I was like this, like here's the piece of paper. And first I decided, okay, let me burn the bridges. So we used to rent a place, and it's very difficult to rent that place. It's in a
Mm,
mountainous area, very, very beautiful, and it is always completely booked. So you have to
mm,
book it 1 year in advance. So the members of the community, they were calling me, Dada, should we book this place? I say, no, don't book. We are going to do it in our place. He said, Dada, there is nothing there. There is only land. There is not one even toilet there. I said, no, don't worry. I'm going to build everything. She said,
Oh,
they
wow.
said, Dada, 3 months only remains till the event. Are you
3 months
crazy?
and you had nothing?
I have nothing. And
You,
they said, Dada, 3 months you have. I said, don't worry. I will build everything. Just trust me. So after, first they challenged me. They came, online with me on the phone. I think we used Skype that time or something like that. So they said, Dada, this problem, this problem. And then I somehow rationally I convinced them that I'm going to solve every problem of this. And then became calm, but I became very worried because now my reputation is at stake. Nobody is going to believe me if I have failed on delivering that promise, and I will not be a good leader anymore, and things
oh,
like that.
wow.
So I was really kind of really getting sort of pressure, the psychological pressure. But then when I meditated one time, I just saw in my mind everything is built. I just
Mm,
saw in my mind, and there was this uh, breaking down into like analytical process. Like when you see this whole thing, it scares you. But when you see a
mm,
bunch of small things, you feel like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can
mhm,
do that
mhm,
also, no problem. And I thought,
mhm,
okay, this person, I will ask him to build this project. Like
mm,
this person, I will call and invite him to build a summer, kitchen and dining hall. And this
mm,
person I will invite to build the toilets, and this person I will invite to build the sauna, and like
mm.
that. So I have distributed the projects amongst the people, and myself I took to build a hall for meditation, and yeah, and we did. And
It wasn't like the first thing that you built was the sauna?
yeah, sauna,
Why?
very important for our culture.
It could keep you warm, I guess, at night. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, I was not finishing. Actually, we have done it. We have done the retreat. Everybody got so
Mm,
impressed, and everybody is now, oh, Dada, sorry, we have we have doubt you. We really thinking you were crazy, but you were right to do that. Yeah,
How
and
much?
3 months,
How
we
much was
worked
ready?
day and
How
night.
much was ready in 3 months?
Everything was ready. Everything was ready. So of course, when the people start to arrive, something is being yet fixed. Like overnight, we are still working on the sauna, and overnight we are still
Mm,
building a stove, for the dining hall and for the kitchen. And but we have done it, and it was beautiful. It was very very nice, blissful events. And then we were kind of getting a little bit rest after this because we were so tired. And then it was already autumn. And then one night we were sleeping on the top of the sauna, on the second floor of the
mm,
sauna. And still there's no insulation, nothing. So we put one kind of tent on the top of the sauna,
mhm,
on the second floor, yeah. And one day I wake up and I see there is this ice over the grass, and it's so cold. It's so really cold. And I'm thinking, yeah, it is time to build a house.
Oh, you didn't
Because I
have the
thought,
house.
no, we didn't have. And I thought like this: we are not moving from this land. This is our new home, and we are not going anywhere from this. We are going to winter here, so we need to build house now. So I
Oh,
sit
God.
evening time. I draw a picture of the house, approximate plan. And then next morning we start building it, and we built
Like
it.
no architect, no
No,
structural engineer,
no, I was the
nothing.
architect. I was the architect, and it was quite a beautiful house. Really, I loved that house the most. Later on, it burned out. but
Really?
uh, but that was really the beautiful house. We built very very beautiful house with a beautiful artwork also. On the third floor there was like the glass, very big glass, and one girl, she's an artist, and she made like in the cathedrals, this type
Oh, a
of
stained glass.
the glass. Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was so beautiful. That was incredible, blissful. Yeah.
Wow.
So like that.
I
And,
mean, I've heard
constant,
these stories. Go ahead.
when people see, when people see this kind of courage, they like to help. They like to help. The leadership, that's what leadership is, to be courageous, to do what other people are scared of doing. Yeah.
It's quite remarkable, the challenge and like you said, you burned your bridges. You really made it like do or die.
Yeah.
Like you have to be no alternative. You have to be successful, and you were. So this kind of spirit I've heard also from the stories of our master giving huge targets to people. Maybe you want to share a bit about that.
Yeah, like there was a time in organization when the guru, he would put an extreme pressure on the disciple. I was just thinking, today we are so vulnerable, all this psychology. Oh, I have this trauma, I have this trauma. I don't want to demean anybody, but I want to just a little bit disagree with the approach of today. We have become so self-centered,
Mm,
so entitled, and so self-centered. So, and the before time, even tougher times. So you don't have any chance to be the kind of self-centered. You decide you want to survive or you want to die what you want. You decide now. So in that kind of pressure, there is no way but you become strong.
mm,
So it is one of the ways how the guru develops disciple by giving extreme pressure and by giving no choice to the disciple, to lament and to dwell, to you know uh, to float in that kind of imagination. Oh, I am poor, I don't know, I am unsuccessful, I am very sad, I have so many problems. So instead of that, guru gives you tremendous task and then pushes you. So like sometimes I heard the story that one disciple comes to the guru and then guru asks, so did you open the school? I asked you to open the school. He
mhm.
said, no, no, I didn't open any school. Why? Yeah, because I'm so busy. I didn't have any opportunity and things like that. Then guru becomes very angry. He starts to be very, very angry. And he say, what? You are eating and sleeping. You are a burden on human society. you know, things like that.
Blood
So
sucking.
yeah, blood-sucking mosquito, you are just parasiting over the society. You are like, you are having easy life. You are doing nothing good for nothing. This very psychological treatment. And then he said, tell me something that I will satisfy me. He said, okay, okay, I will open the school next month. He said, what? Did everybody just hear what did he say? He wants to continue to live this idle life, the lazy life, parasitical life, and he is not even shy to speak this in front of his guru. What kind of rascal you are? So okay, 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 I will do 2 schools next month. Then again, he scolds him every time he commits like 5 school. He scolds more and put more pressure and more insults on him. Then finally, he already almost he's crying, and then he said, I will open 20 schools next month. Then guru said, okay, now you're speaking some sense. Now it is satisfactory. Uh, Personal assistant, write down. General secretary, write down. If he will not complete, strict measures have to be applied to him. So he went out, rather he was shoot out like a bullet from the gun. And
Mm.
then he started to work. And then after 1 month, little bit proud, he comes back. And then he is reporting, I have opened 18 schools. A little bit with the pride, with some kind of ego.
Wow. I mean, that's impressive. Yeah.
It's of course, I mean, it's extremely impressive. And I think
Yeah,
everybody is impressed and he is impressed and he is thinking now the guru is also getting impressed.
of
So, but
course.
the guru becomes so angry. And he said, "What? Do you remember what you promised? You're not good for nothing, blood-sucking mosquito."
Oh,
And he scolds him left and right, left and right, left and right,
oh,
until he cries. He cries out. He really breaks. He breaks his heart, basically. He totally breaks. And then he's crying and weeping. He says, "Okay, my son, don't cry. Go and meditate now." Then he goes to meditate, and then he goes into samadhi, into the trance of, spiritual absorptions. He become what we conscious.
wow.
He
So he
enjoys
just,
divine bliss, and then Guru said, "Look, my son opened 18 schools. Can you imagine?" Imagine. This is humanly impossible, but he did it. So he deal, in a different ways. First, he gives pressure. He creates that kind of set of mind. Everything is possible.
Mm,
Nothing is impossible. If I decide, everything is possible. Then he cleans up his pride and cleans up his ego, and then he shoots him into the state of samadhi. So that's what called tantra. That's that's real spirituality. It has nothing to do. We were speaking yesterday, last time, a little bit about the fake spirituality. This
yeah.
is spirituality. To break all the barriers, all the boundaries, to usher
Yeah.
the disciple into the new age of power and self-reliance and, kind of strengths.
Yeah, he took care of his ego on both ends, both like the sort of defeatist complex or inferiority complex, like I can't do anything. And then he got him to do something extraordinary, but then he also took away his superiority complex. It's just like complete destruction of the ego. Because usually people think of ego only as being like, I'm so great, but it was also this like, how can I do that? That's impossible. So both are expressions of our limited mind. And that's just, amazing. Like he removed all of those limitations, all in, just with all that drama, high
Yeah,
and
this
low.
is a very great point, because what is ego? Ego
Mm,
is ego is the feeling I am right. I am right.
mm,
This is in short, you can explain what ego is. I am right. And the ego is based on the personal experiences. So if the person has not experienced that, grace in life, that whatever you do, you just do it and it will happen. So the experience is different. The experience of very, very smallness, and you think this is the ultimate capacity of the human being. So that's
mm.
you believe it, and you don't believe the guru. You don't believe the calling from within you that you can do. So yeah,
It's the yes, but,
yeah,
he didn't like this yes, but psychology. Yes, but later, but maybe like this, but. No, it was no yes, but psychology. Just do. And some people, yeah, would think, oh, you said you're just going to do this. Is that ego? Where's Can you describe the role of like humbleness and what is the true humbleness in these situations?
I think humility is surrendering to the divine.
Mm,
Rather, either it is divinity within you, so there is a calling, like I explained my situation to you, that I
mm,
was meditating and I was hearing that calling, but I was trying to push it away. I was feeling it is impossible. So I was right. My ego, no? I was right.
mm,
I was not humble. I didn't believe that something which is there is beyond me, there is a force that guides the stars, guides me too. So I didn't have that humility to accept that this is my role and this is my destiny, this is my duty to fulfill, to be fulfilled. Like, Noah's Ark. It's a beautiful story in Bible. Noah
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
building a ship, and then everybody is coming to him. Noah, are you stupid? What are you doing? You are you are building a ship in the top of the mountain. How you're going to to bring it into the water? And he said, get off me. It is God who has said to me to do that. So that is humility.
Mm,
That is humility. To really trust the divinity and to understand that I don't know anything. Divine knows. And another expression is of humility is to trust the ideology, the like the teachings. The guru teaches you, do the yama niyama, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, non-harming others, non-stealing, speaking the truth. So you need to have that humility to accept that this is the true way of life. Or you can
mm,
say also, you can say, oh no, this is really not practical. This is in our present society. This is not possible.
mhm.
If you're humble, you can say, yes, this is the way, and I will follow it.
Just to let you know, I just want to let Rohan Sama Vedam know that we've got your question. We're going to answer it at the end. We've got a few questions also from the comments on the videos, but we'll answer them a little bit later. So something also coming to my mind when you're talking about humbleness and deeper spiritual teachings is I'd like you to kind of comment on your perspective on, there's a lot of stuff out there about manifesting success, yeah, and focusing on like meditating on it. And then there's, classical spiritual teachings like Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita saying, you have the right to your actions, but not the fruits of your actions. Or Jesus talking about, it's easier for a rich man, what is it? It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to go into, to enter the kingdom of God. Yeah, so you have these like kind of ancient teachings that are talking about a type of letting go, type of detachment. And then you've got also, this kind of modern interpretations, which it's like, you have to manifest or focus on success or money or things like this. What's your take on all of that?
I would say there is nothing new in this. I think the primordial spirituality or primordial religion, we better say religion, it was like that. Basically, humanity has created so many gods and goddesses and external entities to worship and to aspire for something material from them. So
Yeah,
the same kind of attitude and same kind of approach.
true.
So, and then spirituality is something quite different. It's very different. So in spirituality, person believes that God is within me. So infinity is within me. And he starts moving internally and rely on that power, on that wisdom and strength which is internal there. So you can say that basically almost you can say that spirituality and religions, they're like diametrically opposite things.
Oh,
Because
really?
one relies on external entities, gods and goddesses, and there are numerous gods and goddesses, to get something material from imaginative or spiritual entity, whatever, real or unreal, but person, what he aspires, there are gods, like gods of money, gods of wisdom and whatever. I aspire to get something from the divine. I don't aspire to get the divine. So I think that's the thing. And then my take on that, even it can work. This is, I have not researched completely. This is my some limited observations. Like, if I really desire something, like myself, I will get it. I will get it. It will come to me. It will just come to me. And I think if you meditate, if you have that type of energy, spiritual energy, whatever you want comes to you. So, but it is not very desirable because you convert your spiritual energy into the material attainments. I think you should do opposite. You should convert your material attainments into the spiritual energy.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that? Convert
Use
yeah,
your material energy, material
yeah,
attainments into spirituality. Use
yeah.
your everything for sadhana and for service. Use your everything that you have achieved in the material sphere to promote your spiritual growth, to give time to your practice, and then slowly transform that energy, work on that energy. You start from the body and work that energy up. You transform the energy of the body into to the mental energy, then mental energy to the spiritual energy.
Mm-hmm.
Use your assets to do service in the society. That also creates spiritual energy. Anyway, that's a little bit, I become esoteric. It's
It's okay, yeah.
yeah.
And what about you were telling a story this summer, that you were working on your own goals of like growing your channel, etc. But you knew of one of our dadas that was also struggling with his, growing his own following on Instagram or whatever, and you like started to support him, and then you noticed also that you were having some breakthroughs yourself. Was there a relationship between that? How does that work?
Yeah, for me, it works like this. When I do something, even like sometimes it's really difficult to maintain that flow of service, because service, when you do something for others without expecting anything in return. But sometimes we do service projects and it become my project.
Mm,
So it's like basically you work for your selfishness, which is a little bit expanded.
mm.
So and you worry, you also have fear for your project. You have, you know what I'm talking about. No?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
You,
experienced
you
the
have
same.
you have a children home. So sometimes you worry for the money and you worry for your kids, for your staff, for your, how to pay the bills, all these things. So the same thing
Mm,
happens to me. So you go back into the state of selfishness, fear, attachment, things like that.
mm,
So, but it is the prosperity comes from energy. And energy comes from the higher chakras, really like a higher, that
mm,
joy, that happiness. I
mm,
remember there is one Christian saint. He has said, uh, be joyful, because out of joy you can create so many things.
mm,
And out of tension, when you are just trying to train like this, you cannot do much, you cannot
mm,
achieve much. So really the prosperity and the success comes from that energy of joy. And I get that energy of joy when I help others without
mm,
any expectation. First, I
mm,
started to help Jutika because she had some difficulties with her school, and she's teaching, singing, and she's really great teacher, fantastic singer. And then I thought that let me help her. She is also in the same kind of situation. She is
mm,
not getting enough students. I don't get enough people for the retreat. Of course, the scale is a little bit bigger, but she's same situation. So I start to help her. And when I was helping her, I was really feeling so much happiness for her success. She would get some more people to enroll in her school, and I was like, yeah, today one more. And I feel
mm,
this happiness. And I know I don't get anything from that. So it's a pure selfless happiness and joy. And then Dada also came. He came here. He said, "Oh, how you do things here? I want to also
mm,
learn." And I said, "Dada, let me help you also. Like, let me help you with advertisement, and I pay a little bit your advertisement. I pay for it." And when I was helping him, I felt, I decided to, donate enough money for him so that I feel pain. Like if I give 100 euros is nothing. It's you don't feel any pain from that. But then
Mm,
you give little more, and then if you give that much monthly, you start having pain. Like every time you have that kind of deliberation, should I give or should I not give? Should I
mm,
give? Should I not give? And that kind of
mm,
that property in you, which is very selfless and very noble and very full of faith, has to win over that fear.
mm, mm,
So it is the fight inside. And when you win over it, you acquire a special kind of power inside, strength inside. And then, yeah, then it started to happen. Then I just became very hopeful. The hope came into my mind. And then I worked very nicely for months. And then I recorded one great video about alcohol. And it has, I don't know how many, almost 100,000 views, something like that. I don't know how much it is, but it was big. Many people watched it and many people were happy. So that energy, it brings things in motion, the joy within you.
mm.
The fear destroys your life, and the joys make your life very successful. So now I need to again catch Dada and create some painful sum of money for me and
Oh,
donate
well, yeah. If
for
he
his
doesn't need it, you
prosperity.
can always help me. And our children and stuff. Okay. Uh, Actually, what you're describing is I can relate to it as like this image that you said about contraction, like that when you're fearful and contracted and you're holding on and you're grasping, it doesn't allow, grace to flow. It doesn't allow that magical, yeah, like when these miracles kind of happen. For those to happen, your mind has to be sort of open and full of trust and free of fear. And then that bigger, flow can work through you, like you've been describing in those other situations where you took on these huge challenges, but where you had to make yourself completely dependent on that energy. And so yeah, it is kind of like, this paradox of that it's by detachment and letting go that you attract, like the generosity is what's attracting that flow.
It's not that you attract. I don't think this is a proper word also to
Okay.
attract. I think really the universe, it is because of our ignorance. We believe that we are the actors here in this world. Really, it is only our ignorance. The world moves through the grace of God. He is the mover of the universe. Every molecule, every atom dances according to his will. So this universe is full of beauty and full of prosperity, full of unimaginable wealth and everything.
True.
But
Yeah.
with our ego, with our feeling that I'm right, with our we have decided to believe certain things.
Mm,
We don't allow that natural flow develop itself, unfold properly. So it is just like there is this imagery that divine grace is falling on everyone,
mm,
but you are holding the umbrella of ego over your head. The moment you remove that, the moment you come out of that fear of death, that moment you will feel that all things move according to the cosmic plan.
mm,
And there is a perfection in that plan. Everything happened in proper time, everything happened in proper place. There is a perfection in that plan, and beauty and bliss also. So yeah, so it's not like you're attracting. I think you are just removing the impediments from that
okay. Yeah.
plan.
All right. So it's actually like, yeah, when I was I was really struck when I was studying permaculture, you know, how this abundance is truly embedded into nature. Like if you look at an apple tree or just any fruit tree, you know, it's not just making one or two apples for its direct survival. No, it's just producing so much and offering so much to other entities, you know, feeding other entities, you know, both birds and other entities that are living off its fruits, but even the way that its roots work and the way that, you know, mycelium works, etc. So there's just so much generosity, so much abundance in nature. So we're just, like you're saying, you're just it's just removing our limitations to what's already there, like it's inherent or embedded in nature itself. Yeah. um we've got another question coming in from James Worley. And let me just check here through. Yeah, you actually, something that I kind of like about you is you're a monk, you know, and it's clear you have let go of everything, but you have a relationship to money that sometimes is like unconventional. Yeah, like you're not like many monks or will kind of project this like, oh, I don't need money or money is bad. Your attitudes towards money is like, money's good. I need money. I like money. Can you talk about that?
I mean, who doesn't love money? But you see, I love money, but I don't get attached to money.
Right.
So that's the thing. Is I just feel myself I'm like a hose pipe. So the money comes and they go immediately. I don't keep money with me. I channel money. Like now I am in Sweden Training Center, the monastery for the monks. So whatever resources I have, I put here. And then we have one project in India. Also, we're building beautiful project. If you go there, you will be so high there. It's a perfect place for meditation and perfect place for enlightenment, because our guru has spent 40 plus years of his life, you know, this spreading that divine vibrations in that place. So it's a machine of enlightenment we are building. So and then I just know that okay, one day I will go from here, I will be transferred to some other place, I will go some other country, some other part of the world, and and there will be some another day, another another air to breathe, another money to use for the development. So yeah,
And you're also, I mean, like your needs are very simple. It's, you know, it's like even if you're channelizing thousands of euros through your different projects, like you actually for yourself just have like you can lift off your backpack for months.
actually I was counting, I was looking at my, you know, the reports, financial reports, and I found that what I purchased, it was like 5 bottles of water in the in the airport. That's what I purchased for myself. So that's yeah, I feel very satisfied. I feel my life is very yeah, very abundant. I don't feel any lack of it.
And you know, this is kind of related to the principle of santosh, you know, being in contentment, like not having that kind of constant feeling of emptiness and that you need, you know, more things. So do you think that's also related to that flow of abundance and generosity of the universe, like when you're not hungry?
Yeah, I think the state of joy and state of love, state of generosity is very much related to this. And then when you feel yourself empty, you cannot be generous at that moment. You cannot be, you know, overflowing at that moment. So I think it does negatively affect. Yeah. And lamentation, it's just like imagine you give a gift to a person, and then the person, oh, what kind of gift you gave to me? You don't have any motivation to give more to that person. There is ingratitude. So I think when we are ungrateful to God for whatever we have got, uh, I think he is giving us the best we need. So I think we just have to be grateful. That's all. For whatever we have, Maybe other people have more, but maybe they have something less of what I have. So I should be grateful. In terms of abundance, financial abundance, I had a very interesting incident in my life. I had a big crisis and no money even to buy bread. Extreme lack of finances. And that was for some time. And that was really bothering me a lot. It used to create tension in my mind. So I saw a dream. In that dream, I saw our guru. And he came to me very sweetly and he said, if you want to be rich, you should be very, very honest. Meticulously honest. Do you understand? And I say, yeah, I understand. And I woke up. And I thought, yeah, this is very simple. It doesn't look like a big task. I have to, learn how to do business or things like that. I just need to learn how to be honest. That's all. And then honest means I think I was quite honest also. But sometimes I would go without ticket in the bus. Sometimes, like I think honesty is, there are two types of stealing. One stealing, like you go ride the bus, but you don't pay. That's one stealing. Or another stealing, if you are just very stingy, you don't give the person their due, what they need. You are like you are trying to exploit the people. And then I took it very much to my heart that yes, I am going to follow it very, very meticulously. And then amazingly, but money start to come. Start to flow. And then I remember my many situations in my life. Like I was a young monk. I was a very like a junior monk. I love tea. And there was another also like me, another brother. And I said, you do all this accounting. I don't like this, numbers. You do the accounting. I will give my all money to you. You run the whole thing. My duty is to make money. Your duty is to spend money and account for it. Okay. And then one day I come to him. I look at him. So, how is our finances? He said, Dada, I don't understand. We don't have a fixed sources of income, but we have fixed sources of expenditure. Yet, every month, we have more money than we spend. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, as I keep doing it.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
I have this kind of trust that somehow God will take care of me. That's what I believe.
Especially when it's not just for you, but when it's like you're taking care of others or you're doing service for something bigger than just yourself, then the resources come. I feel it's like you don't have to wait for that. If you just take the step, when there was a crisis in Romania with the refugee crisis coming in, I had nothing. I already had 9 projects. I'm like, how can I take on anything more? And I have no resources for it. But I just felt I should do something. Like you said, I felt that like obligation inside pushing me, like, I don't have a choice actually. Like, I have to go. I have to try. Something will happen. And yeah, taking that step into the leap into the unknown, and then everything started to flow, and really flow. I mean, we ended up having big grants and did work for thousands of people. And it all just started with that moment of deciding to kind of trust, and not make the lack of resources an excuse to not listen to that inner calling. So yeah, I've had that experience many times. I never feel like I get big donations, big amounts, but somehow, there has always been enough for the kids. Like, I don't even know how it happens. It's just like little drops, little drops, little drops, but somehow all those little drops, it works. It somehow works. And I've learned to trust it. I have to admit, I was always kind of stressed out about that, but it's taken me time to learn to trust that Yeah, when you're doing it not just for yourself, it will work out. We've got some interesting questions coming in, and I think we've got a few more minutes. So let's
Just 1 minute. In Russian,
sure.
we have one saying. It says, if the God has given you a rabbit, like, I don't know how to say, like very cute rabbit.
Okay. A bunny.
Yeah, a bunny, yes. The God has given you a bunny. He will give you also a field for that bunny to graze upon.
Oh,
Meaning, like if you have got kids, for example, somehow he will provide, because God gives you kids. The God will provide for you also to take care of them.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And also the other thing is that I found that my relationship with money changed, and I think you've probably had a similar experience, which is, in the beginning I used to think like, oh, somebody'd even give me 100 euros, and I'm like, oh my God, that's such a huge amount, and I would be really impressed. But um, like then it became 1,000, and then as you start to like be able to, as you start to receive like bigger amounts, you realize you can do more service, you can do more things, and it expands your mind. And your relationship to money is not for money itself, but for what you can achieve with it. And so instead of having this kind of like, oh, a little bit like it's a taboo thing, no, you realize money is good, because money is what helps us to be able to do greater and greater service for the world.
I
I
mean,
think you've had a.
in the universe of divine, what is bad? Of course, money is good. I want to just one point, because many people, they listen to us. Okay, monks are talking. This is not like is not relevant. Just tell you one story. There was a couple in one city, and they were telling me, Dada, we want to rent a bigger apartment, but we cannot afford it. But in that bigger apartment, if we are able to rent that bigger apartment, one room we want to dedicate for meditation. We want to invite people also to do the collective meditation.
Mm.
I said something like that. If you do this, for sure, he will provide for you. And then they got this kind of courage. And then the moment they found the apartment, there was a promotion in the job, and they got exactly the amount, to how to say, to substantiate that expansion of their property.
Oh, wow.
So it works. I mean, it's like monks and nuns. We make money means we don't make money. We just receive money as a generous
Yeah.
donations from
Yeah.
people. And but family people also, it's just a different form, but it comes the prosperity. Maybe they don't receive donations, but they can make more money in that
Or
way.
get a raise or something. Yeah.
Yeah, get a raise, or get a brilliant business idea, or something, or get an opportunity, get some special kind of networking. Something happens when you practice that type of generosity and that kind of joy and love. When you, yeah.
I think this is actually going to fit really nicely into the first question from Marisa 8081. And she's asking how to let go of fear of financial difficulties, especially when you have little kids to take care of. And when the society tells you you need to chase money, work more to be successful.
Yeah. Number one, meditation and kirtan. This is very important. And second thing, I think this fear we overcome through generosity. When you start giving, there is a big revolution happens in your mind.
Mm.
You subconsciously start to believe that you are rich. You are not anymore in need. You are not anymore empty. You have become
Mm.
now the prosperity. You have become the channel for the prosperity. So always works for me, this thing.
My biggest like impactful moment with this was I'm walking in a village in India. There was this grandfather showing me, his village, and they hadn't seen an American ever. And all of these people, the first one we came to was this lady cutting a banana tree, and she cut out a little piece of it and gave it to me. I'm like, what is this? It was a vegetable that they used there. And he's like, no, just accept it. She wants to give you a gift. And then the next house we go to, they're rice farmers. You know, they have nothing. They're living in houses made of mud. And for our standards, poor and undeveloped, no electricity, nothing, 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 nothing. And yet, you know, next house I go to, they're roasting mori, if you know the rice, the puffed rice, and they give me a huge bag of this. And within a few houses, I'm like walking out like I've done shopping. You know, I'm like walking out with these heavy bags full of gifts. Some people just like a hibiscus flower, somebody a glass of water, but everyone wanted to give a gift, and it just completely revolutionized my thinking. You know, about like generosity, because from my perspective, they had nothing, but from their perspective, and it had nothing to do with the amount of money in a bank account, they wanted to give and they could give. It's just like a mindset, you know, it's just, it wasn't depending on like what we think of as having something to give. It was the desire to give, it was the joy of giving. I saw that it made them happy. Like he was like kind of coaching me to be polite and to accept it because it made them happy to accept. I was feeling embarrassed to accept. But I don't know, this just like changed my whole way of thinking about it. And yeah, I think uh, they have that psychology there, no, that the guest is God, and you never know when you're being tested. You have to be generous. Um, but I think so many people are waiting, you know, oh, someday when my kids are out of college, or someday when I get a better job, or someday when, you know, I've paid off my car, then I can give. But you can always give something. If you can't give money, you can give time. I mean, there's other ways to give, no? Besides materially, that can be very satisfying, but it's mostly like letting go. She says here, like letting go of the fear
Yeah,
of financial difficulties.
yeah, yeah. Of course, I can sympathize very much, especially if
Yeah.
you have kids, and of course you feel obligated and you think about it. Uh, yeah.
I mean, we're not advocating people to be irresponsible and not take care of their
No,
families. Yeah.
I can tell another story. It's about my grandmother. When I decided to become a monk, I calculated in my mind, my grandmother has, you know, like a pension, and my sister has also some kind of income. So I thought they can survive. There is no problem. It's okay. It's okay. So because I was feeling kind of little bit guilty that I'm leaving family for,
Mm,
you know, some high purpose, but still I'm leaving behind my worldly family that has loved me and raised me and things like that. So, and then when I left, maybe after 2 months, there was a huge financial crisis, 1998, in my country. So the currency has just become 3 times devaluated, you know, devalued.
mm,
So let's say the bottle of oil used to cost 6 rubles. Then it became, overnight, it became 18 rubles.
mm,
So
mm.
all the commodities, everything, you know, all the
Wow.
groceries, everything has become 3 times more expensive overnight.
Okay.
So
Wow.
at that time, I start to think, I think, how they're going to survive? What will happen to them? So I come to my Dada and I say, Dada, look, I committed to become a monk, but what to do now? Now this situation, I worry about my family that I left behind. He said, you know, you have to trust that God will take care of them. And I felt this is kind of callous, you know. He's
Yeah.
he's been very callous and he's been very kind of yeah, unkind. But I
Spiritual
took it.
bypassing.
Okay. Huh?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
spiritual bypassing.
yeah, yeah.
Everything will be fine.
So I decided, anyway, okay, I decided, you know, it was struggle inside, but I decided to trust. Okay, let me trust it. And that was very interesting story from that winter. That winter, there was no internet that time. I didn't have any news, any connection with my family. So that time there was this. My family, they didn't have money to buy coal, And the coal for the winter is very important to survive in Siberia.
Mm. Mm.
Without coal, you are dead.
Mm.
So my grandmother used to stress a lot, and then suddenly she's walking to the shop to buy bread, and then out of nowhere, a man appears, and then he very quickly he put his hand in her pocket, and she really becomes very freaked out, and then she runs away. This man.
Of course.
So she becomes very stressed. The last even I bread cannot buy, even my last drops of money, everything is getting stolen from me. Then she starts panicking, and she puts the hand into the pocket, and she takes out, and she finds there is money, just enough to buy the coal.
Like he gave money, he didn't take it?
He came and he put money into her pocket and ran away.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then she couldn't believe these things. She couldn't believe. Then she went into this base where they sell the coal. Then there is another thing. There is no man in the house. There is a sister.
Mm.
There are small kids. My sister's husband, he died also. So there is no man in the house. So who is going to bring this coal inside of the kind of shed? You have to, it's heavy job. So then she buy the coal, and one man, the driver, he said, no, 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 I will bring for you. Don't worry. I will not charge you anything. I will just bring this coal
Mm.
for you. And then he brings, and then he shovels everything into the shed. It's like
Oh,
kind of 4 hours job. And then
wow.
she wants to feed him and things like that. Then he runs away. He just disappears.
So sweet.
So that story I learned later. And there were, many, many stories like this from my family.
Wow.
So I realized, yes, actually, he
It's
takes
true.
care. Yeah, he takes care.
Okay, a few more questions, Dada. Um, it's easy to have a scarcity mindset, but you have to give energy, uh, and you have to give energy, you get energy back. But is it wrong to accumulate? If you're in that position that you attract money, accumulate, make it possible to do something bigger with it. So, what's the right relationship to accumulation?
I think it's not wrong. I think business people, they have that kind of dharma, that kind of property and nature to accumulate money. But I think the really dharma of the businessman is to build business in such a way that, of course, you need to constantly put money back into the business so the business will grow.
Mm.
But you have to build it in such a way that some percentage of your income you have to take out of the business and put into the social service. That will be a proper utilization. Like as a businessman, already you are benefiting society because you are building something for the society, for the world. You are creating some product or some things like
Jobs.
that.
Mm.
Jobs, products, and paying salaries, and it's great. Yet, still, you need to take out some money from your business as a part of your income. And instead of just purely accumulating, you must put it into the service of humanity. Because, like
Yeah.
our guru, he says, you have to donate minimum
Mm.
2% of your income to prevent the degeneration of the mind. So,
Sure.
if you only live for yourself, then the mind degenerates. And then slowly,
Mm.
slowly, you create such a karma, such a bad karma, like you are becoming parasitical. So that eventually you will lose all of that. This life,
Yeah.
next life, God knows, but you're going to lose that because you're not doing your duty. Your duty as the businessman to take care of other people. So yeah, that
It's
is
like
the
another form of investment.
yeah,
You have to accumulate some money to invest to make the business grow, but you also have to invest kind of karmically.
yeah, yeah. And 2% is not only to degenerate yourself.
Yeah, that's just a minimum, right?
Yeah,
Just a
and
minimum. It's
to
not a maximum.
and to progress and to achieve that karma siddhi means perfection in action. It's when you become like your everything you
Mhm.
channel into the prosperity of the world.
Yeah. So we have another one from at Adam Lucas 1260. And should we be aligning our spiritual path with our work, or should our work just be separate from our spiritual path, and to provide for ourselves and our families? Like, should it be compartmentalized, or does it have to be aligned? Like, should our work itself actually somehow be part of our spirituality?
Buddha has said, Samyaka Jiva,
Mm,
one of the teachings of Buddha. It means you should have proper livelihood. Means your livelihood should be moral, honest, and not harmful to the world.
mm.
So that is the only requirement. And if you can put some spiritual ideation, bring meaning to your work, and understand that through your work you also serve society, I think it's best of the best.
So there are some forms of work that are kind of not honest. Like, what would you use example? Like maybe gambling, like a gambling business, or something that
Yeah,
promotes some
something
sort
that
of,
brings suffering to other people.
mm,
Yeah, or the
or
world.
like tobacco business, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Another one is, oh, this is nice. At Rohan Samavedam was actually the first question. How to have faith when you're broke? And he says, LOL. Please talk about ojas, how not to give, how not to give, how not to care about what other people think.
This two questions in one, no?
Yeah, they're actually kind of three questions in one. But first
Yeah.
one, I think, is a good one. It's related to the topic, how to have faith when you're broke. That's the best time to have faith, in my opinion. That's exactly what faith's all about. Like, for me, the experiences where I really had to overcome my fear of money were exactly when I faced my fear of money because I didn't have it. Like, there was a moment when, you know, I'd left all of those things I told you at the beginning when I was going to LFT training, and I show up in this Jagrati, and we had something like 10 or $20 left between me and this other girl. We were there together, gonna have to be there for a month or so. And we got a job, but we weren't going to get the money till the end of the month. So in the meantime, we were like stretching out this teeny tiny amount of money. And at the same time, people were coming for collective meditation. And we somehow managed to feed everyone, you know, going through. And we were like, it was the first time in my life I'm like actually counting, like, you know, how much is it going to cost to just buy a carrot? You know, because I'd been spending like $40 a week on my food and buying like organic and all these fancy things from Whole Foods, and now I'm like, you know, counting like, okay, a carrot, like, you know, some sugar or something like this. But despite my fear and worry, we had more than enough. We were even able to feed other people, and we were fine. So, you know, these types of experiences are kind of extreme experiences sometimes, but that's when really you realize that you know, you don't need to be so scared.
You know, it reminds me, one time I was in Moscow, I think. And I used to go there, and there were like always like 30, 50 people for initiation. So it's a lot of work. And then I'm just, you know, sitting and initiating the whole day, just I'm doing that. And then I'm so hungry, and it's already 2 o'clock, then 3 o'clock,
Mm,
4 o'clock. I
mm,
have taken my lunch, and I'm becoming a little bit, you know, like, you know how I am. When I'm hungry, I become irritated.
grumpy.
Yeah, grumpy. And I just like, okay, let me finish. I will finish my job. I will initiate everybody. Then I will go eat. And then, you know, some people, they just want to hang around. They enjoy my company and things like that. And then there are like still 20, 30 people in the room. And
Mm,
and my organizers, they purchase food just for me.
mm,
And I understand,
mm,
because our guru, you know, he said that when you are taking food, you have to ask everybody if they have eaten or not. So I understand. I have to do that. So I cannot just eat. And there is expectation of the organizers is that, okay, just Dada will eat and, continue. But I understand these people, they came from different cities. They have not eaten themselves. So, and I'm like, really in that moment is a sacrifice because you're so hungry. You just want to like, what share? It's impossible. So then I ask, is anybody hungry? And everybody, of course, no, no, no. Then I insist. I say, of course you are hungry. So let's see what we have. Let's share. And you give one spoon of rice there, like that.
Oh,
But amazing. Some people, they take some apple out. Some people this, some bread. And then finally, there is a table. And we all eat. And we all become satisfied. And actually, I feel okay. I have eaten. I feel satisfied.
that
And
is so cute.
and I'm thinking, yeah, like Jesus Christ, he feed with two breads everybody. So it's a miracle how these
That's
things work. So
precisely.
yeah, so when there is, and then always it is a fear. Always there is this kind of, animality struggling with the divinity inside. And if you don't give up, don't give in into this animality, then you will find that abundance.
Okay, there's 2 more questions. This one is from Hemant Dharan. Ego can also be described as identification of, you were, I think, defining at that point ego. No, as that sense of I am right. And he says, ego can also be described as an identification of oneself to body, name, and limited perceptions of the 5 senses, being ignorant of the divinity within. And humility means realizing that the body, perceptions of the senses are all just a perishable cloak of the ever existing blissful spirit. Seems more like a comment than a question.
Yeah, I think it's quite good.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Nice contribution. Another one from James Worley, 988. It feels like when your mind becomes clean, there are parts of internet culture so cringy you can't look at it. Superficial stuff, I mean. It's like another guru said, don't try and treat limited things as unlimited.
Yeah, but also we should not be like a holier than thou. I remember when I was young, I would feel myself so pure and so holy. Oh, I cannot eat this food. It is too heavy for me. Maybe it is not very, very sentient. Kind of, this attitude. I don't know if you have that if you did have that sort of ego trip that you're so pure, you cannot touch anything unpure, you can look anything unpure, everything yeah. Later on, I kind of relaxed. I feel I can laugh at a good joke and watch some movie and I find, yeah, you should not look at things which really degenerate the
No,
mind,
definitely not. Yeah.
which will really only aggravate the lack of control over your the simplest instincts. So like anger, lust, greed, and things like that. But yeah, don't become like living in a crystal uh,
Goody.
goody in the tower made of pure glass or crystal glass, something like that.
Right.
It's not the world of the fairies and unicorns and things like that.
Yeah, I think
Be
um,
real.
be real, and that makes you relatable. Um, you know, at the same time, whatever you're receiving, we can be so careful about our diet with food, but we have to also be careful what we do feed our mind, because some stuff is cringy for a reason. I mean, if you feel it's cringy, maybe leave it alone. Find stuff that
Yeah,
inspires you, find stuff that makes you happy, find stuff that makes you laugh.
yeah,
Life is short to fill it your mind up with junk that doesn't
yeah.
serve you.
Yeah, my point is that don't become too holy too soon.
Okay. I think we answered these. One more.
Be a human being.
This is from at Sharada 922201 and Atma Vandan Masters. Being in Grihi Hashta life, I think this is from India. How can we inspire others to be in service? So when we're in our householder's life, how can we inspire others to be in service while serving our needs and bring awareness of want versus needs? Means, okay, we're having a household life. We have to take care of our own needs. And he's indicating here already, I think, this idea of like, maybe part of that is to be aware of just what our desires are and what truly are our needs. I think this is related to parigraha, yeah? Like really identifying like what is really, it's relative. It's not like you can just say, oh, you only need this because that's what I only need. No, it's everybody has to be kind of have some self-honesty with themselves about what really are their needs. So any other thoughts for householders on inspiring others to be in service?
I think the best, of course, we inspire through our example. And the best thing in life is a routine, that we have time for spiritual practice, we have time for work, we have time for family, we have time for hobbies, and we have time for service also. So that is the balanced life. All the chakras has to get work, like here you have to meditate, here you have to do service, here you have to love your family, here you have to take care of your security and things like that, Like every part of our existence is important. So if you only give part or time and energy to the lowermost portions of our life, that life cannot be happy. So if person only, earns money and, takes care of security and, runs for the pleasures, that life is very poor. So we have to allocate some time for every part of our existence.
It's a really nice way also to end, I think. So any other concluding words you want to say on this topic, Dada?
Yeah, I think let's build prosperous world where we express our love through our small or big actions of generosity and courage.
Okay. And you have anything you want to invite people to? Any upcoming events?
We have collective meditation every week. So that's there is also Telegram channel, meditation steps info. That is a good place to be. And yeah.
I'd also like to invite people on the 20th to 23rd of November here in Romania. We have our Romanian branch of your Meditation Steps project, and we will have a Meditation Steps retreat in Romania. People can come from anywhere to be with us, and especially if there's Romanians listening, we encourage you to join us.
Yeah, I've been to Romania. It was 1 or 2 retreats I have attended, and it was very nice, very cozy, very sweet and very spiritual.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Didi, and see you again next Monday, I hope.
Namaskar.